Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the newspaper review segment on Abuja City TV. My name is Alvin Itiokosu, and here with me is Patrick Idowu. Patrick Idowu will be discussing explicitly on some of the news-making headlines on the dailies, the national dailies today. Patrick Idowu, you're welcome.
Good morning, Alvin.
Yes, Patrick, looking refreshingly handsome.
It's a new week.
I see. So Patrick Idowu will be discussing explicitly on some of the news-making headlines on the national dailies today. And to start with, let's move on to Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper today, we have rumble in judiciary over nomination of justices. Patrick Idowu, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. I think there are reports coming from Osun State and the NJC about the nomination of judiciary, a new CJ, and some section of some civil society organizations. They've taken it up against him that he was partial, that the governor cannot unilaterally only him sack a chief judge and nominated another one. Also, the NJC, the National Judicial Commission, has also berated the governor that they will not accept the new chief judge for Osun State. Even the NBA said they will not recognize the new chief judge for Osun State. And another one about the nomination of the new judges. The nomination of the new judges, the nomination of the new judges, did not conform with the laid down procedure. And I think judiciary is too sensitive, because we believe that the judiciary should not be biased. Judiciary should be upright, I think those who are in charge, they should do a reflection, because they cannot. If we are having a crisis in our judicial system, that means the whole country will be will be in comatose. There will be a turmoil. So I think going forward, there should be a way whereby we can instill sanity into the system, because it's not good for the confidence of everybody. If we don't have a confidence in our judiciary, that means we are in trouble. And judiciary should be upright there. They shouldn't be. We should not be, for us to even be discussing this. It's not a good thing. But called the appellate court, the Supreme Court, they should be above board. There shouldn't be a bias, because this is not a political appointment. For God's sake, this is a judiciary. There shouldn't be anything that look like politicization of the opposite. That shouldn't arise at all.
Okay, that was a nice one there from Patrick Idowu. He's saying the judiciary should be upright. The judiciary should not be biased in terms of appointments. Okay, moving on to this day newspaper, we have Appeal Court nullifies Mutfwang's election, declares Netawe winner. I believe you.
It's looking like a day-to-day thing now. The sacking of governors,
exactly.
Because
governor of Plateau State.
Governor, it started with Zamfara State, the Zamfara State governor, Kano State. Now we are having Plateau State. Within a space of just 4 days, we have three governors showing, though they still have one more chance. They still have one more chance to go to the Supreme Court, the Apex Court. Exactly. But as it is now, it's as if they are sitting with one leg, with just. They are not sitting comfortably. So what? What I want to say in all this is, it is time for our political party to look at the internal politics, the internal democracy in the party. Because if you look at the judgment that was coming from judgment as regard to the Plateau State governor yesterday, the judgment from our appellate court, the appellate court disagree with the lower court. If you recall, the lower court, that means the tribunal upheld the election of the governor. Yes, but the appellate court disagreed yesterday that no, the tribunal shouldn't have done that, but because the tribunal said it was what the APC brought to the tribunal was pre-election matter. It's about the nomination, whether the governor was validly nominated or not. So the tribunal said yes, That is, the tribunal did not adjudicate on the matter. The tribunal only deal with they dealt with technicality of the matter. The tribunal said no, this shouldn't have been brought into this place because it is pre-election matter. No, but the appellate court yesterday disagreed that no, you cannot do that. Is pre-election matter, is pre-election and post-election matter. The matter can still be adjudicated upon. So yesterday the appellate now said no, the governor was not validly nominated. The governor was not validly nominated. The governor was not nominated. It was not validly nominated because the PDP disobeyed a court order that said the PDP should properly organize a congress, which the PDP did not do, because the court said they should organize a congress. It is from the congress that a candidate emerge in a political party. It is through a congress that the candidate will emerge. Candidate normally emerge through a congress. So what the court was saying yesterday now, that the governor did not go through that process, that the governor was not validly nominated. It's as if, to me, I think it's a deja vu of a thing, because this thing we've passed this road before, because this is exactly what happened in Zamfara State, where in 2019, if you recall, where all the candidates that were validly elected by the people under the platform of APC, all of them were shown, the court sacked all of them, including the governor, all the senators under the platform of APC in Zamfara State. That was what brought in the former governor of Zamfara State, the current minister of defense, Metawale. That was what brought him in. If you recall, he was brought in by it was Supreme Court judgment that brought him in as governor, because the governor sacked the Supreme Court then sacked all the elected officials from Zamfara State, just because not because the election, not because that people did not elect him into that office. The court said they were not validly nominated. They were nominated through a congress that the court did not approve. That is exactly what happened yesterday in Plateau State. In all this, what I'm saying is why a political party, how can a political party ignore an order of a court and still went ahead to organize a congress when the court said no, don't do that? As in, don't do that. This is what you are supposed to do. Why will you now still go ahead and do it? It doesn't speak normal, because in doing that, if you are disobeying the court order, that means you are putting the candidate himself in the tight corner. If at the end of the day, if your candidate now go ahead to win the election, like what happened now, what will now be your gain as a political party if the court at the end of the day still annul that process? So I think the political party should take a beat, as in should just calm down and exercise the restraint in dealing with nomination of candidate, because it is a very, very, very delicate matter. Though the governor still have an opportunity at the Supreme Court, this is just an appellate court judgment, you still have one more chance to go, as the Supreme Court will still sit on the matter. But I can confirm the governor is in the governor is in a very, very tight corner, because the APC in that state, they have to me, I don't even think, I was surprised that the tribunal disagree with the APC, because anything that has to do with the nomination, that disobeying the court order is a straightforward case, because that's what happened in Zamfara State. So let's see what will happen at the Supreme Court as regard this judgment of yesterday.
Okay, there Patrick Idowu has elaborately thrown light on the appeal court verdict on the Plateau State election. Okay, now moving on to Daily Independent. We have here, federal government looks to unlock $1 trillion debt capital to end borrowing. What is your perspective on that, Idowu?
This issue of borrowing, I think the government they just have to find whatever they will do, because if you look at our the debt profile, is staggering, as in the numbers are not looking good. So it is left for the government, as in to find a means, an alternative, because we cannot just continue to be borrowing, as in it will not go well for our system, for the nation, even for the economy. One thing about the borrowing of it, if you look at the way we've borrowed over time, the money that we've borrowed as in over time, we now ask yourself, is this money, do we really need to borrow at that particular time? Are we borrowing for as in to finance our capital project, or we are just borrowing for borrowing's sake, as in just to, as in for recurrent expenditure? Is it for capital expenditure? Because if you are there is nothing wrong with borrowing. Nothing wrong with borrowing. If you are borrowing for capital expenditure, you are borrowing to invest. We know that in Nigeria, as in we have issue of infrastructural deficits, no doubt about that. Now, if you are borrowing, those things, those infrastructure will generate, as in as in they will generate revenue for you, so that you'll be able to service those debts. But in a situation, yes, in a situation whereby you are just borrowing for recurrent expenditure, you are borrowing to pay salaries, you are borrowing just to, as in, to do something that is not to borrowing for unproductive,
into the critical infrastructure.
You are just borrowing just for the borrowing sake. You are borrowing not. Your borrowing are not that productive, as in it will have an impact on the economy in the long run. If you look at our budget, as in this 2023 budget, we are servicing the amount of money that we are using to service our debt is outrageous. And at the end of the day, you will not find there will not be money left to even do a little capital, because Nigeria is a country that our infrastructure we still need to invest more in our infrastructure. So in a situation whereby you are using 60% of your revenue, I'm even with 60. Maybe we are using 80% of our revenue to service loans, to service debt. What is now left for us? I think the federal government should just find a means. As in, I don't know how they want to do it. I don't know where they want to. I don't know. But it is their responsibility to sit down and find a means to end this borrowing, to find a means to end the borrowing. We should be able to find, we should be able to do. Nigeria is, as in, we are not supposed to be borrowing within, as in, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration came on board, he said he's not going to borrow like the previous administration. What if you are following the trend, if you are following the news, you'll have this current government has they've borrowed like they borrowed like 2 times. I think up to 3 times now in this.
Of course, the NSA just in recent time came out to say they have inherited lots of debt from the previous government. That's government of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes, if even this government, they've borrowed. That's what I'm trying to say. They've borrowed. That means something is not adding up. So what I'm saying is the federal government should find a way. As in, I'm not saying they should not borrow outrightly. Borrowing should not be our first option. It should be a last resort. It should not be a first thing before you say Jack Robinson, let's go and borrow. Before you say that, let's go and borrow. It should not go well for our economy like that. But if we are going to borrow, we should borrow on something that is productive. We should borrow on something that will regenerate the loan, that will give us revenue from it, so that we can service the loan. So that we can be servicing the loan. We cannot be borrowing for consumption stage, sake. It's not going to go well for our country.
All right, that's a very good one there, Idowu. Now let's move on very quickly to Daily Sun. On Daily Sun, we have a very huge one here. Tinubu dragged to court over INEC appointments.
So yesterday, some civil society organizations, as in Sarah, led by Sarah Bojaiti and the rest, they dragged the federal government to court over some INEC appointment. They are alleging that some resident electoral commission of INEC that they are partisan.
Okay, they are partisan.
So and if you look at if that claim is true, that means the federal government violated the constitution, because the constitution was unambiguous. The constitution was clear about that those who are going to man the electoral commission, from the INEC chairman to the resident electoral commission, should not be partisan. They should be above board, because you are conducting an election. If a member of a political party is sitting on INEC chair, as in we already know where his or allegiance will be, as in. So what the constitution is saying, that those who are going to be elected should not be partisan. So yeah, and now they are alleging that the federal government, the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed people that are partisan, people that are allegedly member of his political party, the APC. They mention, like, for example, they mention the resident electoral commission of Akwa Ibom State, the resident electoral commission of Edo State. They said these guys, they are member of a political party, they are member of APC. And if their allegation is true, because as it is today, it's still in the realms of allegation, they've not been able to prove it, because even in their statement yesterday, I was looking, when I was reading the report, I was thinking maybe they are going to include maybe their ID number, as in the identity, their ID card, as in that really shows that they are member of APC, but they did not do that. But maybe they want to prove that in court. But if they are able to prove their allegation in court, it will be a serious indictment on this administration, because it is not supposed to be so. If the allegation is true, that means we are in a very, very precarious condition, which is not good, Patrick, for our system.
Idowu, thank you very much for this segment of the program. Join us again, same time tomorrow. My name is Alvin Itiokosu. Mr. Patrick, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back from that breather. We would still take some headlines from the newspapers we have here with us in the studio. With me is Patrick Idowu. My name is Alvin Itiok.
If you follow our first match here in Nigeria, where we drew with Lesotho 1-1, if you follow that match, you much from these guys. And you cannot, if you cannot, that team, look at the players. These guys, they are professional that need this attention in his state. Having said that, he condemned about dollarization of our economy. Yes, I agree with that, because even if when you get to market now, when you want to buy something in the market, someone that is selling garri will tell you that, guy, you don't know say dollar
has gone up.
Don't go up.
Things are gradually skyrocketing.
Everybody is using that excuse. What does dollar has to do with garri, my brother, for God's sake? Is it the dollar that I'm going to use to pay for garri that I want to buy in the market? So it's as if everybody is just jumping, cashing cruise, using dollar as excuse, something that doesn't have to do with dollar. If I'm buying palm oil in the market, are you now using dollar? Am I going to use dollar to pay that? Someone will now say, because dollar has increased, as in palm oil price should also go up. So we should just calm down. Everybody should calm down. We should not just eat up the politics, eat up everything just because of. I know that times things are tough. The economy is not in a good.
It's hitting hard
on everybody. The economy is in a very, very difficult position. But in all this, we should just calm down, because it's not going to do well for everybody if everybody is jumping on it, that because dollar is on the higher side, price of goods in the market, as in, should go up. Everything that even has nothing to do with dollar should now go. It doesn't sound normal for us. But having said that, what are we going to do to strengthen our currency should be of what we are going to do to strengthen our currency should be of major priority to the policy maker, because we cannot just sit down and be looking at the value of our currency is
going down,
eroding every day. So it is alarming. The policy maker, those in charge of our economy, should sit down. They should be able to find a way on how they are going to halt it, how they are going to stop it for now. Because if you are holding $100, it's as if you are holding 1,000, maybe 1,100 naira, just $1. Is not that good for our economy.
It's not at all.
Because every indices, all this thing is as in it's dollar that we are using to calculate everything. So if the dollar keep going up against our currency and our currency keep losing value, it's not going to be it's
going to have a stranglehold on our economy.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for our economy.
All right, thank you very much there, Idowu. Let's quickly move on to the Abuja inquiry. Here we have FCTA set to abolish shared C of O, that's certificate of occupancy.
Sure, the FCTA said that they are going to abolish share facility, as in share certificate. That means you cannot two people, three. In some estates in Abuja, I don't know. Maybe they are doing that because of revenue, to generate more revenue for themselves. Because in some estates here in Abuja, if you have a landed property in Abuja, you can only the certificate that you are holding. That certificate of occupancy that you are holding is share facility. It's a share certificate, because an estate can only have one certificate of occupancy at a time. So the rest of the occupants, the rest of occupant of that estate, if you have a property there, that certificate of occupancy that was issued to the estate, is you are sharing it. You'll be sharing it among themselves. That is what FCTA said they are going to abolish going forward. That means everybody we have is our own independent C of O. I don't know how they are going to do that, but let's see how that pans out. But for me, I think the primary aim of that is to generate revenue for FCTA. But in doing this also, they should be able to look, as in those in charge should be able to look at as in the larger picture of it. Is it going to augur well for people? Will people will people be more comfortable with that? So in doing this also, they should look at that instead of just looking at the economic angle alone.
Now, very quickly, before we wrap up for the program, looking from the backdrop of the PDP's opinion that APC is gradually turning Nigeria into a totalitarianism state, and then the view of the chairman of NNPP, New Nigeria People's Party, has also said APC is turning Nigeria into a one-party state. What's your opinion on that? I think he's saying that from the background that the governor of Kano State has been ousted, and some governors from Plateau and other states too have been ousted by the party. What's your opinion on that?
I don't think so. See, this, if you look at the judgment coming from this court, as in from Kano to Zamfara to Plateau State yesterday, like I said earlier, it centered around issue of nomination, as an issue that has to do with nomination.
Yes, intra-party
issue. As an issue that has to do with nomination. That is why I say that the political party themselves, they have to sit down and look at their internal democracy mechanism, because you cannot. Is it APC that disobeyed court order in Plateau State? Was it APC that disobeyed a court order? It's
not
PDP. Was it APC? Even in Zamfara State, it still has to do with that. So it is an issue that has to do with nomination, with the party nomination of candidate. I don't think we should just. I don't think the NNPP as the opposition should just as in want us to want Nigeria. They are painting a picture to make it look like it is APC that is controlling the judiciary. No, this is not. I'm not speaking for APC, but
you don't hold brief for them.
Yes, but we, as in, this. If you look at the merit of this case and what the court has saying, it has nothing to do with politics, because it's very straightforward issue that centered on party democracy, internal democracy of the party. This thing, if you recall, I said it earlier that this thing happened even to APC in 2019 in Zamfara State. APC lost the entire elective position in Zamfara State because the court said APC disobeyed a valid court order that said the Congress, APC should conduct another Congress, which APC ignored that court order and went ahead to nominate a candidate for elective position in Zamfara State. The Apex Court now said, no, that means you are going to pay the consequence for absolute disregard for lower court, and they paid the price at the Apex Court. The Apex Court sent all their elected representative out of the office, and the PDP benefited from it. So when that happened, did APC now said, no, PDP, you have no, you are paying the price of the consequence, as in you are paying the price of your action for disobeying a court order. I don't think the opposition party should calm down, though they have not even asked the governors, the Zamfara State governor, the Plateau State governor, the NNPP governor of Kano State. All of them still have opportunity to present their case at the Apex Court. I think everybody should just calm down. No, there is no need to eat up the politics. No need to eat the politics up now. Everybody should calm down. If you still believe, you have a case, there is a merit in your case, you still have an opportunity to approach the Apex Court. The Apex Court is still there, so they should present their case to the Apex Court. Let's see what come out of it, instead of rushing to the media, as in playing to the gallery for sentiment. Just you want people to listen to you. No, election is not, as in you cannot prove a case on the pages of newspaper. The court, the justices at the Apex Court, they want to see fact, they want to see figure. They are not going to you are not going to hoodwink them, or because with emotions, with sentiment. They are going to listen to the fact, to the merit of the case. That's what they are going to listen to. Those who matters, as in the NPP, the PDP in Plateau, the NPP in Kano, and the PDP in Zamfara State should approach the Apex Court. Let's see what come out of it at the end of the day.
All right, thank you very much there for your thoughts on some of these headlines. Okay, this is where we come to the end of the program on this segment of our newspaper review